Hi, this is Glenn Dorsey with myHomeSpot.com, and this is portion 2 of the Manager and Board of Directors view for the Online Association Manager. And this is an application brought to you by myHomeSpot.com for our property management division. Alright, where we left off was that we were creating a violation letter. So we quickly reviewed how to create the letter introduction, determine the type of violation, reference the exact paragraph within our governing documents for the violation to establish a directive and consequence. And again, all of these things can be saved here. So we don't have to, we can type in what our directive and consequence should be, and then we can save that for in the future to simply utilize that as a template. We would establish then a compliance date. And in a lot of associations we do hearing panels, so we could establish that hearing panel, and then we'll have the opportunity to continue, and it's going to tell me to enter the violation type. So here we can just type in trash can, and here we can put please comply with CC&R requirements as to keep trash can from view of street. Parentheses, can must be concealed at all times other than day of service. Alright, we're going to continue. Just so you can see what this is going to look like, we're going to hit preview. And you'll notice that it generates on our letterhead in a PDF document format here, telling them that a violation date, a violation notice with a hearing on that particular date, that it's the first violation notice, and again reaffirming their violation date. And all of our document data would be populated within this PDF. Alright, back to the letter here. We can continue. Then it's saying, okay, do we want to send it to John Smith? We do. Do you want to include a photograph? And then we can include a supporting photograph as well. That'll be sent to John. And we'll just save that as a draft. Now, this system is fully capable of handling you from an initial violation or an informal notification to a formal notification to a secondary notification, handle all of your hearing panel requisites in the interim, and unfortunately if you have to send this over to legal counsel, it has the capability of sending it to any contact that you want to refer to for final enforcement. Now when it sends it out to legal, it will bunch up every photograph, every comment, every letter that you've sent related to that violation, along with a member history report as well, and that will be sent via fax, it will be sent via email, and can be sent via postal mail when you hit the send to legal format. So it's a great tool for managing violations of members within your association, and you can do that in a nice way that's very organized, and certainly the member has access to this data as well. Alright, that was under our homeowner services, I think. Alright, that was still under our association. No, it wasn't. It was under our association administration here. So let's go ahead and talk about our association administration. Actually, where we left off was the violations here. Management reports is utilized exclusively by your property manager. Request for proposal. This is a great thing here that's just been released here. This allows you to establish a work scope for a group of vendors to be solicited. So we can put out that, to our landscapers, we can type in 6 different landscapers, and we'll develop a work scope that says you're going to cut and mow this on certain dates, and then we hit submit request for proposal. It sends all of those vendors the specifications, again through email, fax, or postal mail, and at that point allows them to reply on the system with their proposals that are archived within your system, and then you can accept and dedicate an award for those particular RFPs, or you can cancel the RFPs. But now you've got a consolidated format of archiving the request for proposals, so your members can be reassured that in fact you're putting things out to competitive bid, and you're doing that in an appropriate fashion, itemizing work specifications and so on. And architectural control is another function, certainly, of the association. Members will have the opportunity, as you saw with the member view, to come in and make their request online for a particular architectural variance, maybe the installation of a satellite dish. And here we can go in and we can view all. I don't have any into the system. But if we had a system in, then at that point it would say, okay, as a board of director, I reviewed the documentation, and how do I want to decide that matter? Do I want to approve it, condition it, or deny that request? So that concludes the association business. Moving on to communication, we have the opportunity to create a newsletter, to administrate our calendar of events, as well as schedule resources. Again, we can put a swimming pool in there and take reservations for a swimming pool or a clubhouse. We can issue broadcast messages to a group of users, whether it be a committee or the individual members themselves, or we can force a manager message, which will pop up to the manager of the association. Homeowner services, this allows us to go in and add details into the homeowner services page for the members, telling them what utility providers to contact or who to contact for resale letters and that type of stuff. Our maintenance requests, we can go in and we can manage the requests, and it gives us all of the open requests of the association, or we can go in and create a request in behalf of the member. Under Association Administration, we can manage our Association Information form, and that is this link that appears on the right-hand side, which contains all of the specific details about the association, general information, corporate information, all of that. We covered that in the member view. My filing cabinet is nothing more than your own personal filing cabinet. If you have a document that you would shove into a literal physical file folder, or filing cabinet, this system is that for you. So you can classify your document type. So you can say that we had a exterior building maintenance issue there. You scan your file up, you upload it in the document. Anything that you would keep in your filing cabinet, you keep in this electronic filing cabinet, and it's available to you as board members. And we have our board members. We simply go in and select our board members from here. You can change the roles. So we're going to make those two guys board members. When they get off the board, we'll change their role back to homeowner. And then we can go in and manage vendors of the association. Put in who's our vendor, their contact, their email address, that type of fun stuff. Unit file, probably one of the neatest features of the association. We can go in and search by last name, first name, address, or email. Let's load up Nick Ward's at 500 Ford Drive. And we can see that Nick, real quick, owes $727. He has 0 open maintenance requests, 1 open violation. We're able to track all of the notes every time we talk to Nick and his manager message. If Nick is going to lease his property out, we can also include that on his rentals page. Rental info, so we can keep track of his association manager, who his tenants are, when the lease expires, what kind of vehicle that tenant drives, and so on. We can tell every time that if Nick sells his property, we can track that information here. Specific documents related to Nick can be included in here. It's just a unit overview on a consolidated level here, and here we can scroll through the different homeowners as well. So this basically covers a quick glance at the Online Association Manager for the Board of Directors and the Manager's perspective. Again, it's a service brought to you by myHomeSpot.com. Feel free to call us and visit us on the web.